to, when I lay down and take that final breath, know that I have exhausted every ounce of potential that, was bestowed on me.
It was the kind of night that Mona Scott Young thrives on: big lights, big energy, and bigger drama. The queen of reality TV stood right in the middle of it all, glass of champagne in hand, smiling as the latest season of her hit show came to a close. All around her, the cast and crew celebrated. Laughter echoed, toasts were made, and for a moment, everything felt perfect, the kind of success that makes the sleepless nights and hard decisions worth it. But not everything was as shiny as it seemed on the surface. While the music played and the drinks flowed, two familiar faces sat tucked away in a shadowy corner of the VIP lounge, scrappy and chaotic. Their conversation wasn't lighthearted like the others, it was serious, private, and full of tension. You could feel the friction between them, like something had been building and was now ready to explode. Chaotic stood stiffly, arms folded, lips tight.
You said blank if we that's what that says. And now you going back on your word after I signed the release form for Cannon. I take you back to court. Don't play with me. You didn't ask me to cash app extra money towards the rent. I just did it out of the kindness of my heart because I knew you were behind trying to help you. That wasn't no extra money. That was what you're supposed to be giving me anyway, since we agreed to whatever the number is.
Scrappy paced slowly, shaking his head, clearly agitated. They weren't just talking, they were confronting. Insiders say this moment had been a long time coming. Ever since Chaotic started getting close to Diamond, Scrappy's ex, things hadn't been the same. Scrappy never said anything directly, but those close to him knew he wasn't happy about it. And instead of easing off, Chaotic doubled down. He kept showing up with Diamond at filming locations, dropping slick remarks in interviews, making sure people noticed. It felt deliberate. Disrespectful. Scrappy took it personally.
I ain't doing shit. I ain't trying to do shit. You already know I'm not. Like when, where, how, when.
So where the rest of the text messages at so I can find out this information about what y'all agreed to? Why are your text messages deleted?
What you mean? I don't even know what the was being said. I was frustrated. I might have thought about and I don't know if I sent same day, the next day, I sent the money and did what I needed to do. That's it. I ain't do nothing else.
Now, while everyone else was winding down from the season, these two were heating up, far from the cameras. No producers guiding their every word, just real tension between two former friends. Elsewhere on the rooftop, away from the noise and flashing lights, Kirk Frost sat across from Mona. It wasn't a loud scene, no champagne, no crowd. Just two longtime reality stars sitting together, speaking softly over their half-empty drinks. Kirk had made sure to catch Mona alone. He leaned in, voice low, and said something simple, yet honest: "Thank you for everything this season. You gave me a chance to clean up my image, fix some of the mess I made." He was referring to the storyline Mona had greenlit, the one that showed him trying to repair things with Rashida after years of cheating scandals and criticism. People had been done with him. But Mona had allowed a new version of Kirk to be shown, the family man, the one trying to do better.
If I didn't talk to you, it was a problem. And then it would be, you don't have to do this. And for me, that felt like, don't negate what I have been doing. Don't negate me making sure you and the kids are good. Don't negate the calls I did pick up.
And Kirk was grateful. Mona listened and nodded, appreciating the moment but not swept up in it. She had heard similar things before. Many cast members came back trying to rewrite their stories. She respected Kirk's gratitude, but she knew better than to get comfortable. She replied, calm but clear, "You did well. But don't forget, I created that version of your story. I can change it just as fast." It wasn't a threat. Just a reminder. In Mona's world, she's the one holding the pen. And if Kirk slipped again, there'd be no saving edit. Little did they know, a new story was already unfolding, and neither of them would be able to control how it played out. As the crowd thinned and people started heading home, Mona and Kirk both found themselves still lingering. Maybe it was the adrenaline of another season ending, or the emotional exhaustion of always keeping up appearances. Maybe it was something neither of them could explain. In the quiet of the lounge, with no cameras rolling and no spotlight on them, they started talking again. This time, the conversation took a different turn. Mona let her guard down, just a little.
Me in your life and you kept up over and over. You violated my privacy, you violated my space, you did it behind my back. I almost died. You understand? So I don't have time for this negative energy.
She spoke about how tiring it was to always manage everyone else's chaos. Always fixing other people's problems, while hiding her own. Kirk listened quietly, really listened, not like someone waiting for their turn to speak. He understood more than most. He'd lived with the pressure of keeping up appearances, too. The room felt heavy, still. One word led to another. Then a pause. A glance. A lean in. What happened next wasn't planned. It wasn't part of any script. It was real. It was a moment between two people used to controlling the narrative, and this time, they lost control. Mona tried to carry on like everything was normal. But something didn't feel right. She brushed it off at first, probably just stress, she told herself. But the feeling didn't go away. Eventually, she took a pregnancy test. Then another. The results were clear. She was pregnant. She didn't tell Kirk. Not right away. Maybe not at all. How could she? She wasn't just a producer anymore, she was part of the scandal. The one thing she had always tried to manage from behind the scenes was now her own life. Kirk, meanwhile, was back home with Rashida, pretending everything was okay. But she could feel the distance. Every time his phone buzzed, he got nervous. She asked him casual questions, where he'd been, who he was texting, but his answers were always vague. He had received a text from Mona, a vague message about needing to talk. He deleted it before Rashida could see it. Still, he could feel her eyes on him. She knew something was off. She just didn't know what yet. Mona didn't know who to turn to. She had built her empire by managing other people's drama, but now she was stuck in her own, and it wasn't just business anymore. One night, she called Yandy, someone who'd been in the game a long time, who had seen both the spotlight and what happens in the shadows. Mona didn't have to say it outright. Yandy could hear it in her voice. Something was wrong. Yandy kept it real with her. You need to handle this before it gets out. Because when the streets find out before you speak, it's already too late. But Mona wasn't ready. Not yet. The silence grew louder than the show's theme music. That's when the real drama began. Her assistant noticed the changes first, subtle ones. Then a producer asked a quiet question offset. Whispers started. In Mona's world, secrets don't stay buried long. She called Kirk. Panicked. They met in her office late one night. The air was heavy. It's happening, she told him. You need to figure out how you're going to deal with it. Kirk wasn't ready. He kept asking for more time. Said he needed to protect his family, to clean up the mess before it exploded. Mona wasn't having it. She was dealing with storyline meetings, public interviews, and now doctor's appointments, and she couldn't hide behind work much longer. I gave you space to fix your story, she said. But this one isn't just mine to carry. And I'm not going to let it blow up on my doorstep without warning. Kirk nodded. But it wasn't just Rashida's reaction he feared. He was terrified the truth would destroy everything: his family, his image, even the show itself. Yandy had kept Mona's secret for too long. She never asked to be in the middle, but Mona had confided in her anyway. And now she couldn't keep watching Kirk walk around like nothing happened. One day, she pulled Rashida aside. No cameras, no producers. Just two women. I need to tell you something, Yandy said, voice low but serious. At first, Rashida listened calmly. But as Yandy kept talking, the truth began to sink in. Her face changed. Shock turned to pain. Not again, she whispered. Not her. This time wasn't like the others. It wasn't some random woman chasing attention. It was Mona, the very woman who helped shape their stories, who claimed to have their back. That betrayal cut deeper than any tabloid rumor ever could. Without saying a word to anyone else, Rashida went straight to Mona's office. She didn't knock. Mona stood, surprised. But Rashida didn't wait. You used our pain to build your empire, she said, voice shaking. Then you turned around and betrayed me with my husband. Mona tried to explain. Said it wasn't planned, that it was one moment that went too far. She sounded sincere. Maybe she was. But Rashida had heard it all before. You knew better, she said. And you did it anyway. There were no cameras to catch this confrontation. Just two women, face to face, hurt beyond words. Mona had built the stage, but now she was the center of the scandal. A scandal goes public. It didn't take long. Whispers turned into blog posts. Then blurry party photos started surfacing. Headlines were vague, but they hinted at something big. Fans started connecting the dots. Rashida didn't make a scene. She just packed her things and left. No messages, no goodbye, just silence. Kirk came home to an empty house and a note. He tried to call her. Nothing. The question is, can she come back from this? Should she? Can Kirk earn forgiveness again? Or is this the moment Rashida finally chooses peace over partnership? What happens when the people behind the drama become the drama? I want to know what you think. Do you feel sorry for Mona? Or do you think she knew exactly what she was doing? Is Kirk capable of change, or has he just run out of chances? Did Rashida make the right move by walking away quietly? No statements, no scenes, just silence? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. Let's talk about it. No fake drama. No edits. Just real opinions. This might just be the most unwritten chapter of love and hip-hop yet, and the cameras haven't even started rolling. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe for more deep dives like this. The truth is always juicier than the edit. Until next time, keep your circles tight, your business private, and your boundaries solid.